Hey man, how can we find other people to play with? What about finding like-minded players? Awesome question. And I can get to it because I had to restart the stream and there's no people in here yet. Man, it's going out to music, live music that you like. Murray, what's up? Sorry, you guys. I don't know what happened there. I turned my Wi-Fi on. My Wi-Fi was off. It's going out to where there's live music, man. Live music. Go find some live music you like, and when the musicians are done or on break, talk to them. You know, ask them about the guitar tone. Try and make friends with them. It's making those connections that are going to give you what you're looking for. So, networking. It's all networking. Go out and find live music somewhere around you and something you like, because that'll be like-minded players probably, right? What's your schedule in June? We'll be there 9/13. June, honestly, I don't know my schedule in June yet. I don't know, but I would love to catch some of you guys in real life. That would be so cool. Good reminder to subscribe to Tim's channel so that you know when he goes live or when he restarts. Yeah, hey, thanks, Todd. You guys, the love on YouTube is so much better than TikTok. I've been doing the TikTok thing hard for like a year, and I've liked it, but this is the engagement and like the richness of it feels a lot more like other people on the other side of the screen. Whereas TikTok, not the case. So much Mayor in your note choices. Hey, thanks, Noah. I listened to a lot of Mayor and learned a lot. Keep show vlogs. And if they start seeming repetitive, they always rule. Yeah, absolutely. I'll absolutely keep doing them, Murray. Could you talk about your start with Lanco and how that all went down? Love your vids. Dude, I absolutely can. My Lanco story is crazy. Now, when I talk about the connections video, and there's a thread that led to that, but you know how I got the gig with Lanco, or how I got the opportunity to get the gig with Lanco, is, dude, I made a video on TikTok, and it started, I think I was wearing this sweatshirt, and it started me saying, the title and video was like, so you want to be a guitar player in Nashville, right? It's like the shorter form version of some videos I've put up on here. And I didn't play it all in the video. I just talked and talked about what it looked like for a normal person, you know, someone not coming down here like I'm a star or I'm a star player or anything like, you know, I just moved to Nashville and I wanted to play guitar like thousands of other people. And dude, Brandon, our lead singer, saw that video at some point. And they knew they needed a guitar player. And for months, then they kind of followed my content. They looked at my stuff. And one day, I was getting out of the shower, getting ready to head to a rehearsal. And the day before, Lanco, the band on Instagram, had followed me, the band page. And I thought, that's cool, because I knew who Lanco was. I'd listened to Greatest Love Story and Born to Love You a bunch. I got out of the shower, and there was a DM from the band. And it said, hey, man, this is Brandon. I sing in Lanco. We might have potential for a guitar opening. Is that something you might be interested in? And then he said, also, this is not public yet. Please keep it on the DO. I said, absolutely. So then a couple days later, I got on like an hour-long phone call with Brandon, just kind of met him over the phone, talked, told me about the band and where they're at and what they're kind of looking for. And the idea was that there was a gig last year on March 18th that was a one-off. And I think the real audition, so then basically we set up an audition, which my audition with Lanco is very different than a normal audition or an audition for a band at that level. So normally if a band at that level, if you're going to have an audition, it's like cattle call. you know? So first off, the singer does not reach out to you. In fact, I have multiple friends that play in Jake Owen's band. Jake Owen was definitely not at the auditions, right? You're not gonna when you're at a certain level, and they're all side musicians then. So normally you get a call from the MD music director or the manager. They got your contact somewhere and they say, hey, we're holding auditions. Do you want to come? So you say yes. They say, okay, here's 3 songs. Depending on the level of the gig, they might just give you a demo all the way up to they're giving you live tracks and stems so you can solo out the guitar parts and really play exactly what they're looking for. And then you show up and you say, okay, your time slot's between 2 and 2:30. You show up, the band's there, the managers and all these label people and stuff will be there if it's a bigger act. They'll probably videotape you. Because at this level too, you got to remember, you got to be able to play the parts. Then you got to look great with the band. And that's a factor when you're just a hired side person, especially. When you're just playing a side thing, you got to, there's all kinds of looks, but you got to have something going on, You don't want to just come in a t-shirt and flip-flops. Although maybe that's your look and maybe it works. Everybody's different. But anyways, that's how a normal audition would go. And then they say, hey, thanks for coming. You'll hear back from us in a couple weeks. Whatever. With Lanco, my audition was I went over to their home studio. It's just the guys. We sat down and instantly played some songs just to make sure, like, okay, he can play. And then we drank a couple beers for a couple hours and hung out and talked, and it's just the band. Now, it's so different because they're looking for a member to join the band, and it's a band environment. So that's why the audition was so much different and was so cool because it was a hang. And then the real audition from there was like, okay, he's good enough to play 1 gig with us. Now let's take him on the road for 1 gig. How does he handle himself on the road? Can he handle playing in front of people for, and after that gig is when I sat that night with Brandon, our singer, and kind of the captain, and he was like, look, man, like, you did great, and I think this is, I think you're the guy. And then it just grew more into that. The more I played with them and stuff, now I just got out of the studio, just recorded on the new record a bunch. Really pumped about it. And yeah, so I got the gig from Lanco essentially because they saw a video of me on TikTok. But it's all the work that went into that, And it's being on the gig before where the guy that I was playing with, Hayden Kaufman, was crushing it on TikTok. And I said, I want to get into TikTok. And I was saying, if I could just get 1,000 people on TikTok, I could live stream. And that slowly then got me into Lanco. And now I'm at where I'm at. And now we're doing YouTube, you guys. Okay, really long story. I hope you guys don't mind the story time too much. You can see how my videos get long quick, right? I'll just sit and start talking. Okay, let me answer a couple more of you guys' questions. Playing those changes. Yeah, ever run into Patrick Sweeney? I have not. I know he is around town, but I haven't run into him. Eric, any tips for a rusted player that is trying to get more serious about playing? I know basic chords and scales and spent too much time away from guitar playing other instruments. I just start hopping in and jamming with songs you like, man. Throw on a song you like. If you want like technical tips, especially if you already know some stuff, dive right into the cage system. The cage system is the key. The cage system is so important. All my lessons, my students today, I've got a student in 40 minutes, so I'm going to have to hop off here. But it's a cage system, man, because the cage system is what lets you know where all your chords are. It's your home base marker. That's how I'm looking at the fretboard. So if I'm playing out of this shape in E and I go, I'm thinking I'm playing out of C shape. It's an E major and C shape. And I know my major scale for that. Now I'm in G shape. I'm thinking went down to that A shape. Open E shape. Anyway, so I'd maybe dive into the cage system, and then if you're just feeling like you're rusty, start throwing on stuff and jamming with it. Throw paint at the wall, You're not going to get fired playing in your bedroom, so just Just start hitting it, man. Crazy how YouTuber Arnold Perna was found. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's an extreme example of that. Perfect timing. I was just watching You're Moving to Nashville Part 2. Awesome, Licks of Legends. I'm going to make another one of those videos. Great storyteller. Hey, thanks, man. Graggle, Licks of Legends. Mike, thanks for the nice comment. I would super chat you, but I guess you aren't part of the YouTube program yet. Hey, thanks, Graggle. And I appreciate that. I've applied now, so I was able to get like monetized, or what would allow super chats, I guess. And I guess it just takes some time for them to like review your channel and make sure I'm not breaking any guidelines. But I do appreciate that, absolutely. But I guess you aren't. So Cage system is just how to play with a band, the old school unspoken language. Everyone learn it. Yeah, it's super important, because then that takes you out of, okay, you might know this E chord, and maybe you know this E chord, and then you know, but then that's all, a lot of times we just learn that E shape and the A shape, you know? But then there's the C shape, there's the D shape, there's this G shape up here, and then inside of each of those shapes, look at this C shape. This is how important the Cage system is. You learn this whole C shape. There's a couple levels to it. Now I know every interval I'm playing 1 major third, 5, 1 major third. Then inside that shape, look at how many triads are in this shape. E major triad, E major triad, E major triad, E major triad. So if one guitar player's going, you don't want to play the same thing, maybe you go, start turning into a blues thing. But that's why the Cage system is so important, because I can say, well, maybe I'll play this chord for E, or this chord, or this one. Maybe it's a low thing. Maybe I'm up here going, okay. Tim, did you play with Fair and Rachel's? Yeah. From the DC stop. No way. Did you really see me there? I did play with Fair and Rachel's. We were opening up for Chrissy Metz, the actor. She was doing music. I think still is. And yeah, I played acoustic. I think that DC stop was our first stop, and I'd never played with Farron before, and I actually messed up one of the songs pretty bad on it. And I remember her being done and being like, you need to listen to the songs. Nice, but being like, you need to. And then she never called me back after that run either. Actually, that's wrong. I played once or twice more with her, but you don't win them all. That was a really fun tour, though. Because your vid, I started the Cage system. Can you do another vid about the system? Absolutely, Antoon. Absolutely. I've been thinking about doing, there's going to be more teaching stuff coming out. So tell me your guys' thoughts on YouTube. Is it better to wait a couple days to put up more videos? Should I put one up every day? Should I, I'm trying to figure out, like, because TikTok will reward you for putting up a bunch of videos, but I don't know that YouTube works exactly the same. So I'm trying to navigate that, but I do want to talk more about the Cage system stuff and then breaking down those triads, Here, I could be playing this, I could be playing this. I got this power chord, I could be playing this, 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 So I want to break down those triads. Did you study music? There's stuff you learned from books, YouTube and playing in bands. I was in jazz band for a year in high school, and that taught me a lot of, like, what's a dominant seventh chord, and how do I play one like... So maybe it's starting to get a little like jazz blues. You're like a... I can't remember it. Anyways, but a lot of it is just YouTube, which I hope to now give back to this community. I've been watching YouTube and trying to learn on YouTube. since freaking I was 15. I'm 30. I've been a long time YouTube. Hello from Canada. What's up, Canada? Kind of has a Garcia Ware feel to it. Hey, thanks. Yes, you and I spoke at length. Oh, spoke at length, did we? If I saw your face, I'd maybe remember. Surveyed. If I saw your face, I'd... You playing in Madison? Yes, Alec, I am. Alec, you're not the one who commented... Someone commented saying they're playing on that Madison festival with us. Is that you, Alec? If you could only have one guitar amplifier and one guitar, what would that combo be? Ooh, good question. Well, here's the... I'll give like the biased answer and then the non-biased answer. One guitar would have to be this one, but it has the most sentimental value. This is the first good guitar I got. Thousands of hours spent playing this guitar. Hundreds and hundreds of gigs over more than a decade. So like sentimental wise, like if I could only keep one, I'd have to keep this because, but I love a Strat, but right now what my amp combo is, so look, right now I'm playing through this PRS HDRX 20. I've always been a Fender amp guy and I'm a PRS artist, right? So PRS hooked me up with this amp, and the guys over there have been really good. And I'm gonna make a video too about what becoming a PRS artist kind of looks like, as much as I can without like, they're pretty cool, but without breaching, like I'm not supposed to talk about exactly what the contract is, which is a very simple contract. But I'm loving this amp, man. And normally I'm a Fender style, so I've got a Hot Rod Deluxe, I've got a Blues Junior, and then I've got a Sir Bella Reverb, which is like a 6L6 44-watt Fender style platform amp. But this amp has been killer. And lately, my go-to rig is that amp in this guitar. This is a PRS DGT, you know? And with Lanco, I love all kinds of stuff, but last tour, I was playing pretty much all PRS gear because I had just become a PRS artist, and I liked the gear and wanted to support, you know, giving me stuff to play. If I play the Grand Ole Opry, I should play a PRS, you know? Right, which I did. Are you running that HX Stomp straight into front of house? No, the HX Stomp is only for like my time-based effects, delays, things like that. No direct out, always through an amp, which I'm very fortunate that with Lanco I could still use an amp, because there's a lot of gigs, if you're a side player, where it's almost required you don't have an amp. You know, there's a lot of gigs where it's like, okay, you need to go direct in. And I do not go direct in at all. I used to YouTube for photography and found the best growth was consistent. Okay, great to know. Just keep the schedule consistent. Yeah, great to know. It's great to hear you playing. Yeah, absolutely. I would play more. So cage system is built off triads. Well, the triads maybe are built off the cage system. That's how I think about it. Because the cage system are these big open cowboy shapes. You know, C-A-G-E-D. That means C, A, G, E, and D. The open shapes, you know, that's what cage stands for. And each of those open shapes can be moved up as a bar chord. So if you play any of those open shapes without your pointer finger, this is how I teach it. Without your pointer finger. So let's say we have our normal C. Now we're going to play it without our pointer finger, because the nut is your pointer finger. So once you move up, you're going to have to do the job of the nut and bar what the nut was doing. Does that make sense? So then you need to know your root. I know my pinky's under the root. That's what makes it a C chord. So if I want to play an E major in C shape, I need to move my pinky to an E note on that same string, because you're going to keep the same shape. So that E note is up on the 7th fret, and then I put the shape down. And now that is a C-shaped E major chord. I'm really into that jump blues stuff today. I think I've just had enough coffee. I have listened to Jeff Healy. YouTube works on routine, same as Same time each week can be just okay. Awesome. Awesome. Looking forward to Uncle Larry, and I absolutely am looking forward to their record. I actually know Guthrie pretty well. Um, and yeah, that's a weird situation for me, honestly. I know Guthrie pretty well. Too well, sadly. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Cheers from Canada. That isn't me. I'm the one who bought a Silver Sky because of you. Oh, awesome, Alec. How are you? Yeah, you're loving it. Worship team is happy about it. Heck yeah. Have you played it at do you play every Sunday, or have you played it at church yet? Just saw Jeff Healy. Heck yeah. Can I get a shout out? Sure, Pyro Pack. What's up, Pyro Pack? 9 lives. Awesome. You see so many bands not using cabs on stage. Nothing like getting. I agree. Lanco, still real amps. Both me and the utility player. He does a Vox style amp every time. So our backline order, he's a Vox AC30, and I'm a deluxe reverb or a twin. When we're playing outside, the twin is better because it's louder. But when we go on tour and I'm bringing my own amps, I'm going to run stereo, two of these. Then I always have a backup, and two's better than one. So when we go out, I'll have 2 of those, and that'll be my rig, which is such a blessing that I can go out and run stereo amps. It's really cool, honestly. Have any pedal steel experience? No, not real pedal steel. All my pedal steel stuff is just the fake. And then you got to add in the volume pedal, and you do like the... Pedal steel's hard, though. I'd love to get one. They're just expensive. Appreciate you answering your questions. Hey, thanks, Licks of Legends. Absolutely. How are you? I'm good, Michael. How are you doing? Joe, love. Thanks, Joe. Tim Aven, is your line 6 through an effects loop? No. No effects loop. I run straight into the amp. I think the effects loop, tell me if I'm wrong, I don't play a lot of high gain music. I think that starts mattering more when you're got a lot of gain going. I think that's when it starts to get hairy. But I don't play high enough gain for it to matter. I need to learn all this stuff. Love playing, but I'm not educated in that sense. It's easy, man. Just start with the cage system. Start with that cage system. I'm telling y'all. That was the biggest improvement I had on guitar. And then there's levels to that. I know the major scale in each of those shapes, and I know the intervals I'm playing for each of those shapes. So if I want to play hardcore major, that's all major. But with some basic music theory knowledge, I say, okay, what if we're playing over a dominant 7th chord? I was just playing over an E major before. So now I can manipulate those scale, the major scale I already know, and say, okay, we're going to add some of that. I'm going to add in that flat 7 and tease the major minor 3rd thing, you know? So I'm thinking about that. Ha. Okay. Perhaps in future video, I enjoy watching you play around with a looper. Okay, Todd. There's one video I have a looper on, but I don't get too intense with it. I get the fact about the chords moving up the fretboard in the cage system, but my fingers are not as flexible as yours. Antune, that just takes time. The more you practice those shapes, you're right. At first, that C shape can be hard. But if you just keep practicing it, your hand will stretch out for it. It will. It might take you a week. It might take you 2 months. But if you grab that shape every day for 3 minutes a day, within 2 weeks, your hand's gonna feel more comfortable. It's all about consistency, and you'll get your hands stretched out and used to those shapes and being able to grab them quickly. What's poppin'? Oh, it's Charles Walker. What's up, Charles? Charles lives upstairs above me, man. Were you Guthrie's assistant before? I wasn't Guthrie's assistant. Summer of 69, I don't know. What tuning are you using? I'm just in standard tuning. Absolutely, man. Guthrie is, I've learned so much from Guthrie. I've learned so much from him, especially his playing and stuff, man. He's one of my favorite guitar players. Do I have videos of my band playing live? So I just asked the band yesterday. I know my channel is all about like basic production quality and stuff. We have one video. Actually, we have a bunch of these videos, but I asked if we could post one that our videographer took that's a live on stage, one whole take of a song live. That's really cool. And I do a really big long solo in it and stuff. So I'd love to post that. And as soon as I get the okay from the rest of the band, I wonder, they might not want me to post the full thing. And if they don't, then I might be able to just post the jam at the end, because there's a long extended jam where I do a solo. But that'll be a little bit higher production quality. That's our videographer with the camera. There's no edits. He's on stage the whole time, but it just looks a little cleaner. Then you guys can see like, oh, I do actually like play in front of people. Drop that riff. No clue what she was at any time. I'm not sure what for Farron. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. I'm missing a couple of your comments. Ha. Huh. How old are you? I'm 30. Yeah. Hey, thanks, Ella. I'm glad you like my hair. What do you think of the MFDs and the ASAT, Tim? That's a great question. Great question. So let's plug it in. Let's plug it in and talk about what I think of them. Also, you guys, just the 20-minute warning. I've got a student. It's 11:38 my time. I've got a student at noon. So just know I'm going to have to log off. Normally, when I stream, if I wasn't doing a student, I'd sit and do this for hours, especially because this is a great first stream for me on YouTube. There's people in here. You guys are engaging, asking questions. It's freaking awesome. So let me get out that ASAT and let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So this is a 2002 American-made GNL ASAT Classic. Now there's actually a really cool. I can only confirm it up to a point, but there's a cool Chris Stapleton story with this guitar, which I can tell you guys if you want. But pickups, let's talk about the pickups. Pickups are hotter output, and they're not as compressed as a normal Tele style pickup or a Strat style pickup. They're a little more microphonic, which I like, but it is its own thing. So here's the neck pickup. Let's do the neck. That's that neck pickup. Nothing but some reverb on. Now here's the middle two pickups. This would be like meant to go. Ha. Anyways, middle pickup. Let's go to the bridge, right? The bridge is where you're gonna get that. Right? Wait, what songs do you play as I was AFK for a sec? That's just all improvising. I can play I'm Gonna Find Another You. I do teach. What my lessons have been right now is $1 a minute. I do a 45 or 60-minute online lesson. How many pedals do you own? Seen the Nobles. I only own a couple more. I go Nobles into full drive 2 MOSFET, which I might replace. Then into a compressor JHS Pulp and Peel. Then into a mini volume pedal. And then my all-in-one pedal is the HX Stomp XL. And I don't use that for any direct-in signals. None of that. I use it all for reverbs, delays, slapback, tremolos. But I use it for all that stuff. So, nice telly. Hey, thanks. I'm not a great singer. No, a neck pickup worked on a telly. Yeah, Todd, right? Right. Ding dong, there's a student on the door. Awesome. Although this student I'm about to teach is online. It's our second lesson with Adam, and Adam rocks, dude. I love teaching. I really enjoy it. It's the same reason why I love getting on here and talking to you guys and talking about guitar. I'll play I'm Gonna Find Another You. That Ace hat is making me wish I had a telly again. These are good, man. They're cool. They're really different too. The worst part about this guitar, this specific one, I don't know if all Ace hats are like, it's very heavy. It's a heavy telly. Heavy, heavy. But, get all that. Ha! How's your schedule right now? Is there space for a new student? Absolutely, you guys. These next 2 weeks I'm wide open. We just got done in the studio, and my next gig with Lanco isn't till mid-May. So with the exception of one short trip, I'm going on like we're going golfing down in Florida as a late like 30th birthday thing with me and 4 of my best guy friends. But I'm wide open, you guys. I'll book a lesson with you today. I subbed. Hey, thanks, guys. DK, what's up? I will play I'm Gonna Find Another You. What's the Stapleton story? I'll tell you about the Stapleton story. I've tried a B-bender. I'm not great at it. Whoops. What? Where could you get in contact with me? Great question. If you look me up on Instagram, because I don't know if my email and stuff is on here. So if you shoot me a DM in there, or because I don't think you can message on YouTube. People have somehow found my email, so people will email me through YouTube, but Instagram is great if you can't figure anything else out. And it's just my name. If you look at my name, it'll be Tim Aven Music. Okay. Can you try a riff? What type of riff? What strings do you use? Do you have an opinion on super light strings like 8/7? It seemed like it would save fingers with little drawback. I probably agree with that. I'm so used to playing. I use 10s and I use elixirs because they last longer. And I still don't. I need to try and get in touch with Elixir and see if I can get sponsored and stuff because I need the strings. But I use them just so I don't have to change them so often. If not, I do have a hookup at Dunlop. Which maybe, but anyways, so I use 10s, so I'm used to them, but I mean, if you get your guitar set up for 8s, 7s, I don't know, but 9s or 8s, you know, I don't know, go for it. It's probably, you know, it's going to be easier to bend, stuff like that. Those are some great, you know. All right, you guys, 12-minute warning too, which is more like a 10-minute warning that I'm going to have to hop off and teach this lesson. But let me answer a couple more questions. Having coffee with your friend. Doesn't matter what type you choose. A riff, I mean, here's a riff. I played this in one of the videos. It's hard. I'm still getting the timing down on the riff. Oh, I'm not in drop D. But ever tried string joys? You know, I think I maybe tried them once, but my hands are so acidic. I rust non-coated strings so quickly that I'm so used to these, it's hard to change, but they hold tune pretty well. I've heard that. Watching from North Cal. Hell yeah, Larry. Nice to meet you. 13 gauge strings are nothing. Yeah. Hey, if you wanted to go for that, Josh Smith plays 13 gauge. How many years you been doing this? I've been playing for 15 years. 15 years. Nice riff. What open tuning is that? Num. It's just D. I'm not even in drop D. Ha. Do you play slide? I play some average slide. Some minor slide stuff. I mean, here's... Okay. Anyways, knock knock on. Have you seen the Offset Telecaster? No. Have I missed that somehow? Subs are growing. Hey, thanks, guys. Yeah, I about have to get off here, but so LNCA Cal, and thanks DK. I started on standard tuning for slide. Now I started on standard tuning because I knew if I was going to learn slide, like the first riff I ever had to learn was for an artist, and it was something like really sloppy playing. Okay, really sloppy. When you have a bunch of distortion on, I can fake it better. But in the verses, I knew I needed to be playing chords, right? So I started on standard tuning and went from there. And now I play slide 90% of the time in standard tuning. Lanco has 2 songs that are in open E, where I play an open E, and I had never played an open tuning slide for 5 years of playing slide until I had to learn those songs for Lanco. So open tuning is going to be a little easier, but if you're looking to take one guitar to a gig, just get used to playing it in standard. That's my advice. I don't know Knocking on Heaven's Door off the top of my head, you guys. I'm sorry. Does Cage align with drop D? How do you learn to play in drop D? Well, in drop D, so drop G is just that low one changing. It's just the low one, you know? So your shapes are all the same, and when you do go to finger a chord, it's dropped a whole step down. So like for a G, this is a G now in drop D. Or this is an F, you know? And that's just from, right, the whole string's dropped a whole step, so you need to go up 2 frets. Okay, 11:55. I do gotta roll, you guys. I wish I didn't. I want to thank you guys real quick for just because I've got a student. So if any of y'all are interested in that, reach out on Instagram, or I'm gonna figure out a better way to let people reach out on YouTube because we're brand new to YouTube. But if you're interested in that, I teach online lessons. So yeah, love to work with any of you guys. I've got a student. That's why I'm about to run. But you guys, this has been a killer stream, so I'm done streaming on TikTok. All my streams are going to come straight over here, and I do this pretty consistently. So if you guys like the other content and you enjoy just asking questions and sitting live, during the weekdays, 10:30 a.m. Central Time, for maybe an hour to 2.5 hours, depending. I like to stream, sit down, talk, hang, play. I do this a ton on TikTok, and I'm done doing it on TikTok. It's all moving over here. So, hey, I appreciate you guys for a killer first live stream. So excited about it, man. So excited about all the subscribers. Look for some new videos coming up soon, today or tomorrow, depending on how my schedule works out. So, yeah, all right, you guys. Until next time, peace. I don't know how to end it, though. All right.